up. All right, hello, welcome to FloorCereal. Today we are reviewing Bluey Season 2, Episode 40, Circus. 40? Jeez,
yeah, there's
Louise.
like 50 episodes.
I know, it's out of control. Okay. In this episode, Mom and Dad are going to vote on some kind of local election, it looks like. And while they're doing that, the kids decide to play a game at the park. Bluey gathers everybody to play Circus, and they end up with a bully in their midst, and Bluey comes back to rectify the bully situation. Does that sound?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds about right.
I'm your host, Mr. Shark.
Persephone. I was about to say something, and then I realized that maybe it is this way, and I just don't know it. I was gonna say, if we had barbecues at the local rec center for voting day, I feel like it would be a lot more fun.
Well, it's Australia. Of course, they're
Doing it
barbecuing.
more fun than we are? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
When kids know how to advocate.
I think that's nice. The simple advocacy and just respecting of his boundary.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's simple and it's not like crazy, but it's still there and it's still like their go-to, like their default.
Right. And once again, Coco. Coco is just like, okay.
Yeah.
You know, like, she doesn't argue, and it is. But I think part of that is because they have cultivated a community where being told you're wrong is not necessarily the end of your life. It's not the end of the day. It's not even that you're a bad person. It's just, nope. And on we go. It's just something that happens.
Hercules has entered the circus ring.
Okay, but in a group that is so good at advocating for each other, why would they lay down instead of just walking away?
Well,
like,
I mean, it's probably different. That kid, like, they don't know. He's bigger. He's older. It's not as easy to be emotionally healthy when you're faced with an unknown situation or person.
No, that makes sense.
Probably briefly on her coming in and being like, oh, don't be silly. You're just in time for, we need a muscle man for this. Because he didn't, like the idea of circus. He didn't even, hear it out. He didn't want to play that. Probably because he had this, preset idea of, oh, I want to play motorbikes, and circus isn't motorbikes, and that's a silly kid game. I don't want to play that.
Right.
But when Bluey, came in and gave him a role and a part to play that would fit him and that would be fun for him, he was, more accepting to the idea. And, the inclusion, the automatic inclusion, instead of being well, you have to play with us. You have to. It's it's different because you have to play with us feels like a forced thing, whereas inclusion feels much nicer, whereas it still gets you, hypothetically the same result.
Right. I think it also could be, an idea of vague versus specific, let's play circus. Well, like you said, he's got this weird idea of what circus may or may not be, and in his brain maybe he doesn't like what he thinks circus is, or he just doesn't see how he would fit in circus, and so he doesn't even want to bother asking or checking. Also, he might be used to just being the boss and saying and getting what he wants. So there's that level of just well, this is how it works for me. But then when Bluey comes in and gives him that specific role of inclusion, it gives him a more clear picture of what the game entails and what his part is. It's hey, let's go out on Saturday. That could be anything, right? And
I don't know if I want to do that.
I'm probably going to say no.
Yeah.
That is way too, like, there are way too many possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
But, hey, let's go on a hike.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know whether I want to do that specific thing or not. And it changes the way that my brain processes the information of us hanging out together. And I feel like the same thing could have been at play here, where it's just too vague.
Mm-hmm.
And when Bluey was just like, oh, here's your role.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it was handed to him and he didn't get to choose it, he was much more accepting of it because it was so specific and he knew what to expect. And there were no surprises.
Yeah. I do want to point out that when Fluffy... or Winston made that noise, it was hilarious, and then when he did, it was yeah, I don't understand that, but
because he's bigger, maybe he made the noise louder.
It's like the same noise, but
to us it is, yes, but do you know how Hercules and Winton are related? Like, how do they know each other?
I assumed they were cousins or like a family friend, because he seems a different enough dog breed that they're not siblings,
right?
But clearly Winton is familiar enough with him to know how it goes when playing with him. It says that he's his older brother, but maybe like stepbrother. But this is just a fandom website. It's not like anything verified.
And we end the show with motorbikes.
I also think it's hilarious that the first thing that Coco and Mackenzie do is be jumps. When Coco was the one who's like, being a jump is boring. And I recognize this because she's with Mackenzie, but it's also because when you're doing things with people that are fun, they're no longer boring. Like, you can do the same thing with several different people and it would be fun with some and not with others.
It's time for the star chart!
Social management immediately is Bluey. That's self.
God bless America. Oh, I wrote self twice. No, I didn't. What am I doing?
Well, you did write self twice, but in awareness and management.
Social management, Bluey.
Man.
Okay.
Self-management, probably Bingo. And she does stand up and, say to him that, he can't play with them.
And she advocates for Mackenzie as well. I think I'm going to put her in social awareness. She might even be with management.
No, that's Bluey.
She might even be with Bluey in management.
I don't know about all that.
Okay, I'm going to leave her in social awareness because of those two things. What about self-awareness and empathy? I'm going to put Mackenzie for self-awareness. Did I spell that right? Okay. He didn't want to be her husband, and he said he didn't want to be her husband, rather than just going along with it. Empathy.
Probably Bluey.
Bingo in self-management.
Like an 8.
Bingo in social awareness. I'm going to put her high there as well. 8. Bluey in social management.
9. I think she did very well.
And Bluey in empathy.
Like an 8. Maybe 7. 78.
I'm going to do 8. Okay, so in self-awareness we have Mackenzie with 6. Self-management, Bingo with 8. Social awareness, Bingo also with an 8. Social management, Bluey with a 9. And empathy is Bluey with an 8. That's our star chart for this week. It will be up on Instagram at Persephone Jane and maybe some other various places that we figure out. I guess that's our business for today. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next week. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's play a game called Who Can We Spot?
Calypso, Pat, Lila's mom, I don't know who that is, Judo's mom, Honey's mom, Chloe's dad, or Chloe's mom, I don't know. I don't know who that is, Indy's mom, and then looks like Jack's parents.
And Winton's dad, and Mackenzie's dad. That looks like Honey's dad.
That doesn't look like Mackenzie's dad.
Oh. Do I not know what Mackenzie's dad looks like?
Mackenzie has 2 different moms. Did you know that?
No.
In the 2 episodes in which Mackenzie's mom is shown, they're different. They're different.
Show me.
I'm showing.
Show me some stuff.
Look. Different.
What? Well, this one is at their house. So
This one is in the like barbecue whatever one. 2 different dogs. And see, she's here too.
What if she just dyed her hair? Because it's really just the top part.
And changed the cut and got freckles.
Got rid of her freckles?
And has a black nose now. And I can't see her tail, but I don't know if it's the same. Oh, it is basically the same. Her ears are fluffy. Her ears aren't fluffy.
Mm-hmm. Maybe she was going through her anti-emo phase, and so she had everything bleached, and then it grew out. And she was like, I'm just going to go natural, and then just decided to not.
I don't know. Hey, let me say it.
I don't know who that is.
Wait,